being an RJ, what is the biggest challenge that you face every day and how do you overcome?
Creativity actually is definitely something which is difficult. To be creative every morning is not an easy thing to do, especially if you've been doing it for many years. But then you work around it, like you said, when you catch up with whatever is happening around you, you always get a spark from something that you read or something that people tell you about. So it comes from there. So that is a challenge, but that is not something that can't be overcome.
Keeping all your senses open, basically.
Absolutely.
Niladari, interestingly, you mentioned the news aspect. Now, for FM channels, being private channels, you can't obviously, put news in the direct sense. Right. So how difficult or easy is that?
Well, well, it's a bit of a handicap. Let me tell you this: when you can't dish out news and current affairs. But that said, that's not the end of it. You have many things that you can put on. So there's sport, there's fashion, it shouldn't be only about the movies. Yeah. That's my personal opinion, because there are other things. Like my radio station, the channel that I work with does many activities ranging from cricket to that should be the area of things. So you have many more things to about. It shouldn't just be concentrated on movies, Bollywood or Collywood or whatever, So I don't think it is a handicap, but it can be worked around. It's not that,
it's how you use it.
It's how you use it to the best of your ability, and hopefully the government will open news and current affairs sooner or later, and that's when radio content will go to the next level. Because there will be more matured content coming, and you'll have listeners who would have matured. They would have heard the Collywood and the jokes and all the recipes on radio, and it would be the next level. So we're looking forward to that.
All right. We also have a few students writing to us. So Siddharth from Ananagar writes to us saying that he has not done any course in radio jockey, but he has a good voice and good communication skills as well. So he wants to know, how can he become a radio jockey?
Like Niladari said sometime back, I think he should ideally look at finishing his graduation. Okay. He could always, after that, he could always make a demo CD or something like that and send it to the different radio stations. I'm sure if it's something that is interesting, that will catch the attention of the people there, because people are always looking for good talent. I mean, so, openings will definitely come up, and he could listen to radio, decide what he wants to be, what he doesn't want to be, then he could make a demo tape based on that and send it out.
Okay, you mentioned about this demo tape. So what is the content of this demo tape?
Well, you basically put your voice sample on it. You go to a mock link. I mean, you just go talk like a radio jockey. You put some music behind it. So you give a sample of your voice so that the radio station that you're approaching can judge that, yeah, this guy can be on board, or she's good enough to come on air. So it's just a sample of your voice.
With a link?
Yeah, with a little bit of talk, with a little bit of music, so that the radio station gets a feel of who they want to hire.
Okay. Now there are so many private channels. So how can a person who wants to become an RJ stand out, by joining in any of these stations, be different?
See, at the end of it, it's your personality. It's your style, it's your flair, it's the signature that you leave in that 45 seconds that you're supposed to speak. Today, unfortunately, there are many presenters who want to get through that 45 seconds, so the talk is extremely fast, and it goes rattle. So you need to understand that that's the 45 seconds that you and your listener have, and once you identify that you're talking to one person, you'll surely, understand the medium of radio. It's a growing experience. Radio cannot be learned or done. We are students of radio, and we're still learning today. It's been more than a decade, and we're still learning. So it's a growing experience, I guess. It'll take time to actually mature and, understand who you are.
Now, a lot of people have misconceptions about RJing and DJing. So just clear that out for us.
A radio jockey talks on radio, a DJ plays at the discs, at the discotheques. So they are as different as chalk and cheese, except that both have music somewhere in the picture. Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll just go ahead with some of our questions from students. Archana writes in from R.A. Puram. She says she's a visual communication student and she wants to become a radio jockey, but she does not know how to go about that. How can you help her?
Well, as Deva was saying, make a demo CD, finish your visual communication, gain all the experience while you're studying. Approach radio stations or approach friends who know radio stations, or email any NDTV Hindu. I'm sure they'll help you out. Give my address, or there's a need for talent always, because radio is all about freshness.
Rajesh from Tenampet writes saying that he is not fluent in Tamil, but he is very keen to become an RJ. He wants to know, is there a scope and possibility?
Well,
If he is fluent in English, there has to be some language that you're fluent in and you're comfortable talking in. Or you work on your language skills and then, come back to applying to a job or all of that.
Right, when one becomes an RJ, is it necessary for him to be equipped with the technology aspect as well? Or does the person get training in that as well?
Each radio station works with different technologies. So when you go to a particular radio station, work with them, they will train you on the technology that you need to work on, and it is simple. It's not rocket science, so anybody will be able to handle it.
Now, like your workshops, there are many workshops training students in RJing. So what would be the expense like?
See, it depends. I hope my tax guys are not looking at me. But no, it depends. Yeah, it's about hiring a place. Today I have my own studio, so there are no expenses. We take only 20 students because we would like to give personal attention to each one of them. When you flood your gates up, nobody is going to learn anything or observe anything. So we take 20 students and we put the pricing accordingly because we got lecturers coming in from Bombay, we got lecturers coming in from Delhi. It's about there. It's like a big event, 5 days. Diplomatically, I'm not telling you how much I charge, but yeah, anywhere between 5 to 10,000.
Okay. Now, since you have come so far in your careers, tell us one special moment of being an RJ. Niladari the RJ, what was one special moment that you can remember?
See, Evelyn, there's been many moments, but and I'm sure that I hope there will be many moments in the future. But there was this listener who was when I was in All India Radio, and he used to keep calling my show, and I used to tell him, dude, why do you listen to radio, that often? Don't you have anything to do? And he said, no, Niladari, I'm visually impaired, and whatever you say, when you talk about Kodaikanal, I feel the chill. When you talk about an ice cream, I get the taste. So you're like you're my eyes for these 2 hours. And there's been many such incidents, but yeah, that totally stood out and made me understand there are loving people out there, and you need to give that love back.
What about you, Deva?
Well, like you said, there are definitely a lot of special moments, but there is one thing that I cherish a lot. The last year they gave me an award for the best female RJ in Tamil. And considering that I didn't even think I had the potential to become an RJ, and I really went by, somebody else's gut and his belief, I think that kind of made me feel, nice, good that I chose this, and sometimes you just have to work on another person's instinct.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, Evelyn, Deva was meant to happen for radio. It was not my push or anything. She is a superb talent, and not only that, a very warm person. So that is how a radio jockey should be.
Yes. So what would your advise to some of them who are listening, to some of the viewers who aspire to become an RJ? What would your advice?
Aspire to become an RJ, go out there, give it a shot. If you think you have it in you, take care of your voice. Read. Do a lot of reading. If you think you don't feel shy to do a link while driving a car, let people think that you're a mad person, but that's all right. But if you want to get there, give it the best shot. Do riyaz like how singers do. Practice, practice, practice.
Right. Okay, Deva, Niladari, thank you very much for joining us on Rush Hour. It's been a pleasure having you both.
Same here. Thank you so much.